What's up, guys? I want to share with you a quick little testimony, something that happened to me a couple days ago. It was Friday morning. I woke up and I decided to make some pancakes. I like pancakes, so I mixed them up, and I think in order to have the best pancake experience, you got to have the authentic, high quality maple syrup. Okay, and so I had some of the good stuff. My roommate had bought some of the high quality maple syrup, and I was using it, but there was only a little bit left, and so the first couple pancakes I used the real high quality, more expensive syrup, and then I ran out of it, unfortunately, and I was like, oh man, okay, do we have any more syrup? I'm looking around in my pantry, and we have some Mrs. Buttersworth, some of the lower quality syrup. No, it's not authentic. It's not the good stuff, right? And I'm like, okay, like I used to, use this as a kid. Like I guess I'll use this. It's syrup, whatever. And guys, to my surprise, I was actually genuinely surprised at how much I was so unsatisfied with it. I was so like, it just tasted bad. Honestly, it tasted bad compared to just having the higher quality maple syrup for my pancakes. And I was like, man, this is crazy. I used to use this kind all the time, but now I actually didn't even finish my last two pancakes because they didn't taste good with that syrup. And I began to think, something. I think there's a principle that we can take from that. I think there's a biblical principle that we can take from that illustration. How when we taste this, like the different aspects of the Lord. There's different things that we can taste in Jesus, where we can no longer be satisfied with anything less. I remember having a dream back a couple months ago. I was in the middle of a 40-day fast, and in the dream, it was at the end of the fast, and I was breaking my 40-day fast, and I was gonna have my first meal in 40 days. I was like, guys, look here, I'm gonna break my fast. Today's the day. And so I was in the dream. I had a little Chick-fil-A chicken mini, breakfast little chicken mini that you might have had it before from Chick-fil-A. Only it was a little bit different in the dream. It had like strawberry syrup drizzled over it, and it had like some pickles and some onions on it. It was like interesting, but I thought in the dream it was gonna taste good, and I was like, here it goes. Then I take a bite, and I was like, oh man, this doesn't even taste good. And I remember being so surprised at how unsatisfied I was with it. And in the dream, I went and I found some donuts, and I ate these donuts, and they tasted good. And just in the days after, at first I didn't know if this dream was significant or not. I couldn't see anything that the Lord might have been saying in it. But as I begin to, what I like to call polish the details, I begin to talk about the dream with a couple of my friends and family members and figure out what does this mean? Is the Lord saying something through this? After doing that, after polishing the details, the Lord very clearly showed me that what He was saying was, Nathan, after this 40-day fast that you're doing, you're going to be the most unsatisfied that you've ever been with anything less than the bread from heaven. The donuts being a representation of the bread from heaven. And I began to think about that. You might be asking yourself, what is the bread from heaven? Well, Jesus actually describes Himself in John, I believe it's chapter 6, as the bread from heaven. He identifies Himself. The people, the Hebrews He was talking to, the Jews, they were like, hey, our ancestors had manna from heaven. And Jesus goes, actually, yeah, I was that bread from heaven. I think it's in a different place. He says, those come to me, all who are hungry and thirsty. I'll give you something to eat. And it's this concept of, those who are thirsty, take a drink. Those who drink from me will never be thirsty again. He says that in John 4. So He identifies Himself as the water that satisfies, the living water in John 4, John 6. He's the bread of life. And I'm thinking about in Matthew, I believe it's 5:6, where Jesus is giving the Sermon on the Mount. He goes, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. And I was just been thinking about hungering and thirsting. He'll satisfy. He is the bread of life, hunger. He is the living water, thirst. And he satisfies like nothing else does. And once you've tasted him, guys, there is nothing else that even compares. None of Western Christianity, all the fluff, the strawberry syrup, the extra little things that we like to try and hype things up. Nothing satisfies like the authentic Jesus, like being with him in this secret place and communing with him. And so I have found myself completely unsatisfied. The most unsatisfied I've ever been with anything less than the authentic, high-quality maple syrup, if you will. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. And there's something about when you taste the best, then you're ruined. There's something that happens. You get ruined for anything lower quality, anything that is less than the best. And so, man, I pray that you would taste and see the goodness of the Lord like never before, and that you would be unsatisfied with anything that is not from him. So bless you guys. I pray that this word was encouraging to you, and I pray that you would both experience and perceive, taste and see the goodness of the Lord today like you never have. In Jesus' name, bless you guys.